with each new advent of technology, people say, is theater going to die? And it's like, no, it persists. Is theater going to die now that we have movies, or now that we have virtual reality or augmented reality? It hasn't died out yet. What the most ardent defenders of theater would say is there's two aspects of it. One is it deals with the humanities, with the human experience in ways that other art forms don't. They may focus on the human experience, but there's always some other element. And the other thing is that communal processing. But I think something that we will need to change, perhaps depending on how technology and culture are changing attention spans, is a line that some theater practitioners try to draw is between the actors and the audience. And that if you get the audience involved, then it's participatory theater, which is not the same thing as regular theater. And I think because of these pseudo-realities that are created by some of our technological means, people are used to having a sense of I'm there when I'm not really there. And or even the fascination with reality TV. People want to be a part of the experience. And so I think there are events today that have very theatrical elements to them, whether you're running a Tough Mudder or a Spartan race or participating in escape rooms. Escape rooms are just, you get locked in a room and you have to solve a puzzle with a group of people. And a lot of people say, oh, it's just a game, it's not theater. And I would argue that it is a form of theater. And so I think, I'm not saying we have to abandon the old ways. I would never want that to happen. But I think we have to be open-minded to creating forms of theatrical experiences that involve the audience more. I particularly like one theater practitioner named Antonin Artaud. And he unfortunately spent a lot of his life in and out of insane asylums, but he had this concept called theater of cruelty. And it wasn't cruel in the sense that I'm going to beat up the audience members, but that I was going to assault all of their senses, that the aesthetic distance created between performer and audience needed to be violated, because audience member can just sit back here, check out, and not be involved at all. He wanted the audience to be to have their senses overloaded, to wake them out of this malaise. And so I do have some concerns with technology with theater, because we had some students go to see production of Finding Neverland in LA, and there was a wide use of projections. And so what was gained, well, some efficiency. What was lost, maybe some stagecraft, maybe some human elements. It's tougher for me to make some connections to technology, because it's not always immediately apparent, because it's so easy to vilify technology from a theater perspective. But I do think there is potential for things we don't consider technology to ensure the continuous flourishing of theater. If you can call theater right now flourishing.
It is, what you're saying is curious, because I do wonder if the more of a digitized world we live in, the more the craving for something truly human kind of rises up. And if theater does attend to some of that desire for something truly human. And I'm even thinking about sort of the films that sort of won the Academy Awards over the past year, and so many of them were not particularly technological in nature, right? They were very human stories, even song and dance, right? It was this very sort of kind of tangible, visceral kind of thing, and maybe that's something that theater really taps into. And I even think about Hamilton, right? How impossible it is to get a ticket to Hamilton, right? And here's this live play about a man who died, 100 years ago, right? and yet it's the hottest ticket, right, in Manhattan, and soon maybe here too. So
I got my ticket for December. I think theater has to find ways to be more accessible to people, because that's just the draw of technology. You can have it in your home, have those private experiences. And I think we have to find delivery methods to get it out there to people so they know what they're missing. Because there's a lot of negative concepts out there that, oh, it's hokey, oh, it doesn't relate to me. And my theater appreciation students, when we take them to an experience and they actually have that exposure, they go, wow, I had no idea. I had no idea you could feel this way in a room with other people in a space that had like no set, no costumes, no extravagance. They went in, saw the space, and thought, oh, this is going to be boring. And they left, and it was this particular production they saw was their favorite out of all the ones that had extreme set design. And I think that speaks to the power that theater can still have. So,
as you're describing theater, and as I'm thinking about sort of my work as a therapist, and I'm thinking about this notion of one of the things that we're all looking for is we're looking to feel alive.
Yeah.
And when we go to theater, even if it's something that's tragic, right, and painful, there's something we're drawn to in that because it does really stir life in us, right? And in therapy, I oftentimes find what people are really looking for is they're looking to feel alive. They're not looking to feel pain-free, but they're looking to feel some life that feels meaningful and feels valuable and rich. And maybe as we kind of take that back, even all the way back to social media, one of the vulnerabilities of it is it gives us a false sense of life, right? It gives us sort of this sense of being alive. It's like cotton candy, right? We eat it, but it doesn't fill the belly, right? It doesn't give nutrition to the body. And because I think what you're talking about with theater is really, I mean, it's why theater's been around forever, because it's life-giving in that sense, right? It's really quite compelling.
And there's a cost for the performers too. I tell them when they realize how much work it is to create a character, to live that out, to live in the moment, to create another human being, there's a sacrifice because they are putting themselves through emotions. And there's different camps about the debate between should I feel emotion as the character or should I just represent it? But either way, it's exhausting. It's a taxing thing. And I say, but you are processing it for those who do not normally process and feel these emotions. And there's a sacrifice, there's a service, there's a love in that. You are giving of yourself so that someone else could possibly reach a deeper understanding or have a life change. And I think that in and of itself is a very Christian value.
Absolutely. And not dissimilar to doing therapy.
No, there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, interesting. Good.